Well, what's up guys? So I'm going to be doing a video on the hidden potential system. I'm doing this because we've had a lot of Legends players come over to Dokkan for Global's 5-year and they don't really understand what a lot of the stuff is, and the hidden potential is a system that can be difficult to wrap your head around, especially when you're new. I did find that out personally. So the first thing, we've got to understand the orbs. So we got to understand how to acquire the orbs. So we can acquire orbs through a bunch of different ways. We can get the orbs from the weekday events. Right now on Global, we can also get them through the weekend. We can do each stage once on Saturdays and once on Sundays. This is not common throughout the year. This only really comes for big celebrations, which is pretty much the anniversary and the download celebrations. We can also get them through top grossing, which we've just recently got on Global. We can do it through legendary campaigns. I can't see us getting one anytime soon. The next one I'm expecting is probably going to be Hercule. So with a legendary campaign, it's basically, if you have that LR rainbowed, you get pretty much all the orbs back. Or the final way to really acquire orbs is through World Tournament. Basically, if you don't have much to do for the weekend, you can go through the World Tournament, you can grind that up, and when you hit, I think it's the top 1k, you start getting orbs. The higher you go, the more orbs you get. So, and for routes, each route gives a different type of orb. So the left path gives small orbs, the middle path gives medium orbs, and the right path gives large orbs. This is the same for every event, which is why I've got that particular screenshot up. It's the same everywhere. Because it's so consistent, like, that does help. On Global, it's a little bit different. So I think the left side gives small and medium. I think the middle gives medium and large. And I think the right path gives large and small. I'm not quite 100% sure on that. So JP doesn't have that. What they have is left, small, middle, medium, right, large. But they do have a extra stop, which Global does not, which gives a bunch of orbs of each type. And the restrictions are, we can do them each once per week. We get a different one every day. So Monday is AGL, Tech is Tuesdays, Int is Wednesdays, SCR is Thursdays, and Physicals Fridays. And for all events, this is the same. So Mondays, always AGL, etc, etc. Superclass is on Saturdays, Extreme Class is on Sundays. So if you're looking to awaken a unit, that's where you'll find that. But that doesn't really have much to do with the orbs, but it is a good thing to know. So the dupe system, the dupe system is basically when you pull more of one character, you put it into these locked paths. The locked paths give an added bonus. This is where you can change the character up yourself. So we see all of the shining stars. That's things that you can choose yourself. The most important one is the bottom right. What this does is this unlocks 4 nodes where you can choose, which is the most, and it's the ones that benefit you the most. So you have a choice of additional, crit, or dodge. This is also the biggest buff to the stats. It gives 14% of the hidden potential system. So free dupe is 55%. After that, it's 14% for bottom right. Then the second dupe, which is where we should go for top left, this gives once again, additional, crit, or dodge. You get to choose which one you want. And this gives 10%. The third and the fourth paths are up to you. So the top right is offense. What this means is the two choices that you have for the one node is you can either hit the type that you're strong to harder, or your super attack is more effective against, or your super attack hits harder. That's across the board. So it is better to go for the super attack. The game nowadays is built where you're not just going to be continuously fighting an opponent that you have type advantage over, so it's best to go for type advantage overall. The bottom left is defense. So the two choices that you have with the bottom left is you get more defense when getting hit by the types you are strong against. So if AGL is getting hit by STR, they defend a little bit better. Or the other choice is healing. Healing is based on how much defense you have as a unit. What this means is that you're defending what this means is that when you collect orbs of the same type, you heal. You heal more when you heal more the higher this buff is. So the bottom right and top left, it's better to choose on how you find the character, how you play the game. The top right and the bottom left, it's best to go for the super attack and the healing because those will be consistent throughout the whole game. So what are you choosing? So as I mentioned earlier, crit gives higher numbers. It ignores the defense and it ignores type disadvantage. Basically, this means that you're guaranteed to hit harder. This is the goldish yellow text when you're attacking. Additional is more attacks. So this means that if you've got a unit that raises attack and defense, like LR Vegeta Blue on his super attack, that raises more. And it also raises effects on super attack, so like allies buff, so that's the God Topo. Dodge just means that you're less likely to get hit, as it is in the name. It is the least effective, so for each, so if you have 15 crit, it means that you have a 30% chance to crit, whereas with dodge, if you have 15 dodge, you have a 15% chance to dodge. It's most effective on support units or really defensive units themselves, but that can change if the unit gets an EZA, like Janemba did. So this is the rest of them. So the type advantage. So the Goku with his hands across his chest is when he defends better. Once again, I would not recommend this one just because it's only effective against 20% of the types, and the Goku that's striking a pose he hits harder against that. So once again, you're only attacking better against 20% of the types. The super attack is the Ki Blast. This is effective against all types. So for this one, you would have the choice of the Ki Blast or the Goku striking the pose. The reason why most people go with super attack is because the super attack is effective against everyone. The attack against one type only affects that one type, but it does also affect non-super attacks. The final one is the recovery boost. This is where you can heal, getting more orbs. This is the choice that between, so the Goku's faces and the Goku healing, that's the choices that you have. It is better to go for healing because it's better to heal against anything than defend really well against one thing, at least in my opinion. If you disagree, let me know why. So now we're going to go on to the main ones, so crit and why. It's better than super effective. So the way that works is, I believe it is type disadvantage is, then it goes to type neutral, then type advantage, then breaks guard, then super effective, and then crit. Crit is for the damage dealers, just because they hit hard and we want them to hit a little bit harder. Multi-attack units, so this is like Vegeta Blue, this is, so the Tech Vegeta Blue, this is for the Evolution Blue Vegetas. Basically units that do more than one attack, and it's to try to get all the numbers up. So this would also be really effective for the Blue Duo that's been released on JP, or counter units. So this is basically limited to Vegeta units and I believe Caulifla. Basically, with counter units, if you get hit before you attack, so in the first lot, each counter is procting a chance to do an additional super, and if you can get crits throughout that, they're going to be able to deal more overall damage, because the damage bypasses the defense of the unit, which means they are going to hit a lot harder. You would have noticed this if you have taken counter units into the Legendary Goku event. So Int a la Vegito does a lot more damage when he's countering against UI with that crit. It goes from like a couple of hundred to a couple of thousand to half a health bar each, which is really huge for in-game content. So then we have additionals, which is the next big one. So this is for units that are super effective against all enemies. So that would be the Gogeta units or LR Trunks. LR Trunks has a high chance to crit, so I believe it's a 50% chance to crit. So being able to do multiple super attacks is going to benefit him more. Units that can stun. So unlike sealing, stunning does not have a guaranteed chance to happen unless it is the Tech Raditz, because he does it from his passive. He still has a chance to stun on his super attack. So the more super attacks you get, the higher the chance of stunning, and the easier that event will be. This would be most notable in like Super Battle Road, Extreme Super Battle Road, all the categories and events like that, or units that buff allies on Super. So this is like the God Topo. He would be the main one. You've also got like the 1000 Day Goku who buffs, or units that raise their own attack and defense. So this is the STR, LO Vegeta Blue, units that raise their defense as well. So like LR Gohan, units that will just be able to continuously raise. You could even chuck in Dispo in there, because he is raising his attack on every super, so he's going to be able to raise it a little bit more. You may be able to get 2 supers in a turn, so he's going to be a little bit more, he's going to be able to hit a little bit harder. So that's why you would go additional. Finally, dodge. So dodge is a contentious point for a lot of Dokkan players. They don't really like putting it on, because one of the things that you really want to do is you want to see the transformations, and a lot of the transformations have HP restrictions. If you dodge, you're not getting hit, so you're not losing HP, so you won't be able to see these transformations. I've personally found that defensive units are really good to have dodge. So like in this picture I have in Hercule, you could go all additional and then dodge, just because he does have the chance to stun, but personally I'd rather have him just dodging, not getting hit, so that he will be able to survive a little bit longer. But he is one of the better defensive units in the game. Or you can have it for support units. This would be more along the lines of free-to-play support units, so World Tournament units, like the Tech Gotenks, FCR Goku Black, the Tech, Perfect Cell, units that give a good buff, but they're not quite good enough on their own to be able to take a hit, and you wouldn't want to take them into events where they can get hurt too much. Another unit that you could use that is going to be really controversial is STR. He builds up he gets 50% defense for each dodge. So at a high chance, I think it's 70%. Being STR, he gets another 15, so he'd be looking at about 79% chance of dodge. It's not the biggest, but it could be a unit that you could use that on. But I do recommend going 3 dodge on all units, just because it can save you. It saved me many times, mostly with units that don't take a hit very well, so like last cannons. The one that really does come to mind every single time I think about this is Super Saiyan 3 Broly. He's almost been, I needed that for the original Tech Super Battle Road, because he got beaten pretty badly and it wasn't the best. So we also have some different orbs. These are orb stages where it's very short, you get more orbs, but these characters also take more orbs to Rainbow. So these are for free-to-play units that do have their own orbs. One of the things that they do have in the news for all of these characters is how they recommend doing the units. So with the Tech Bomber, who I believe was the first one to get this, they told you to go all dodge because she was a very defensive unit. The paths do look different. So with the main one, it's very long, you can turn around, you have a lot more slots. With these ones, like, you get, I think it's 4 to 5 different places you can land on to get orbs throughout the stage. I believe all of these do have a second area, so you can go up that second area. It goes, the first 3 are small, then you have a space, next 3 are medium, space, last 3 are large, then you have the boss. This is a really good for new players. So you have the Team Ginyu Force and the Team Bardock. These are completely free-to-play teams, and they also, when you complete all 5 and have them all Dokkan Awakened, you now have a viable team against majority of the Dokkan events. This could be really good if you're just getting started. So let's say you pull a bunch of URs, you get them done, you go jump into these stages. I don't even know if you'd need them all at max super attack. You can jump to these stages, get up these units. Then once you've got these units, you can start doing the easier Dokkan events to awaken the easier characters. Then you can start strengthening up your team that way. I believe 24 characters have this. So it is a huge buff, especially if you are new and you are free to play. It will be able to make your box a little bit stronger. On JP, they do have the skill orbs for the Team Bardock. So if you're on JP, you have a little bit of an easier time strengthening up those characters. And the stat buff. So this is quite important as well, but it's something that you won't notice until you actually use the unit. So each type is different. For AGL, you get 4.6k HP, and that's going to annoy the hell out of me. You have 5k attack, 5.4k defense with 5 additional attack. So that 5 additional attack, so all of these do have a node which gives 5 of something. That is you can't change that, but it does mean that you will be able to change things up slightly, and some may be able to crit a lot more, some may be able to additional a lot more. Tech is 4.6k HP, 4k to attack, 5k to defense with 5 crit, so they'll be able to hit a little bit harder. Int is 5k to each with 5 dodge. This is the only type where majority of people don't like because of the dodge. They would prefer the unit to be able to either crit or additional attack. It's just a game design. So yeah, that pretty much sums that up. With STR, it's 5k to HP, 5.4k to attack, 4.6k defense with 5 crit. So just like Tech, it's going to be able to hit a little bit harder. Put is supposed to be physical, which has 5.4k HP, 5k attack, 5.4k defense with 5 additional attack. So AGL and physical both give a little bit more additional attack. Tech and STR both give a little more crit and gives a little bit more dodge. That sums up the stat buff. You will notice this if you've used a unit at no dupes, 55% and 100%. So all of those stats are for units at 100%. So who do I recommend to prioritize? I would always say LRs first. So these are the units that do have the highest stats. They usually have really good passives. We are getting the prime battles, getting the easy A's, so that's going to be really helpful. After that, you can have Dokkan Fest exclusives, easy A's. So this would be like the Janemba, STR Gogeta units, the 70% leads, and all of the 3000 attack key 3 and 3000 to each type. After that, I would say Dokkan Fest exclusives. So this is the redstone banners. Majority of the banner units are Dokkan Fest exclusives. They usually bring one. They have one new character for each of these. That new character is always unfeatured, so they're not a Dokkan Fest exclusive, but they will come back more frequently. After Dokkan Fest exclusives, I would recommend ECA. So this could be this is still the summonable ECAs, but not quite the ones that are the Dokkan Fest exclusive. So this is the secondary ECAs. So a lot of the ECAs have units that EZA the second time it comes around. The most recent ones on global are the Int Golden Freezer and AGL Golden Freezer. Then we've also had the Super Saiyan Gotenks EZA as well. So these are the ones that I would have next. Then after that, we'd have the unfeatured units. So these are still summonable. This would be like STR Whis, Vardos on JP, Bardock, Trunks, Bardock and Gine, and Trunks and Maya, Super Saiyan Trunks and Maya. Just units that are really good, but they're not quite as good as the EZAs or the Dokkan Fest exclusives. And then finally, the free-to-play units. Because these units are so easy to get, they aren't as good. The big problem with these units is that they don't have the same stat buff. So what I said earlier about all of them having close to 5,000 buff, free-to-play units have it down to about 3,000. So you're getting an extra 2,000 just by putting it on a summonable unit, which is a huge effect. And that could really change how it works and how much benefit a free-to-play would get. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you for watching. If you've made it this far and you disagree or with anything that I've said, let me know why. Or if you think that I should have added anything, let me know why. I think I did try to cover everything I could think of, but this is what I come up with. Thank you very much, and goodbye.